Welcome to Cleveland, America. That is all. Enjoy the show.
Hello.
Hello. We won an award.
Welcome back.
Welcome to Cleveland, America. We don't know what the fuck we're doing.
Once again, not a clue.
Nothing at all.
We'll get it someday.
Maybe.
So anyway, it's Easter Sunday, and we're spending it with family.
Yes. Aww. Honestly, you guys are my chosen.
Jesus died for our sins for like 3 days.
But
so
I mean, it's really not that long. Like, if I told you could die for 3 days, and you could come back.
Dude, that'd be the best. I'd be like, yeah, let's do that.
I mean,
Like a 3-day
forget
nap?
about all the shit that led to you having to die.
Yeah.
But just like you could come back 3 days later and everyone was eating hollowed out chocolate bunnies in your honor and shit.
Yeah, I mean, that was good.
Sounds sick.
Oh, I mean, so it's been quite the week, as always. We always have quite the week.
We do have quote unquote a week.
So we did the Cleveland Comedy Awards. I hosted. We were nominated for Best Podcast, but it was the old podcast name, The Bill Squire Show. So hopefully next year, Cleveland America will be nominated. But The Bill Squire Show did win.
Yes.
And that's the award. It was so much fun that
It's
night.
heavy.
Yeah, it's they're
I thought for sure I was going to break that driving it over here to deliver it.
Brian Sternick broke one of his.
Did he really?
Yeah,
I mean, he was fucked up. He was.
I mean, him and Dave won freaking like 4 awards.
Yeah. He won Best Host, and I think he broke his Best Host award. But he's a great host,
No, he
Yeah,
was,
so the award show was a lot of fun. I hosted. I feel like my jokes went over pretty
You
good.
win. It was so good.
Yeah.
All of them were so good.
Yeah.
yeah, not even like because we're on the show with you. It was from wire to wire.
Yes.
Very, very good job.
It was so much fun. And so next year, if you guys get a chance to come to the Cleveland Comedy Awards, check it out. Hilarities and Comedic CLE. Put it on. Comedic CLE. I don't know what they call it, but
CLE probably, right?
I heard them say CLE.
Oh,
so
yeah, maybe.
I go.
Who knows?
But Comedic CLE sounds better.
I'm gonna make so many friends go next year because it was a ton of fun.
It was
I
a good
feel
hang.
like-
It's a good hang.
And like we gotta get like the people like this is like a new era for Cleveland comedy. It's like, okay, now we got these awards. They're fun and like no one takes them too serious,
Right.
but they're like people are grateful and it is a good time. So
No, it's not like there was 13 people that showed up. That was
Yeah.
a packed hilarities.
So
Yeah.
it was very busy.
Which
And
is
it
like
was-
that's the perfect venue for that.
Yeah. It was better than the what's it called last year?
Playhouse
Playhouse or
Square.
something?
Playhouse Square, yeah.
Just
Which is like it's a cool theater, but it was just way too big.
Too big,
Yeah.
too serious. Not like like the location sucks.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyways.
So that was awesome. But then, I got a suit, and I've been wearing my suit on stage ever since because it fucking rules.
Why did you get the suit? Was it for
It was
this?
for the awards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hell
Like I was
yeah.
like, oh, you know what?
Wear it all the time now.
I am. Like I'm gonna wear it when I would do like weekend shows. Like if I'm on a weekend show, like I'm not gonna wear it to like high and dry and shit like that. But I'm gonna wear it like if I'm booked on a weekend show where I'm getting paid money. I'm bringing back the suit because I wore the suit for a long time back in the day. Like my first 8 years I was on the road as a comic, I was a suit guy.
No, you're professional.
Yeah.
It's time to take it seriously.
Yeah, I know, right?
Don't dress for the job you have. Dress for the job you want.
And so I'm gonna wear the suit. And last night Tommy met up with me at the apartment show at May Halls.
That was fun.
And that's such a fun show because it's so loose and just like the crowd's just kind of like, yeah, let's go in weird directions.
Yeah.
and
Who
stuff
was
like
the guy singing? You said
Connor Stout.
Okay.
Connor Stout rules.
he was good.
He's like a human touch tunes.
yeah.
Well, like we're like, hey, play this song, and he goes like for like 3 seconds. He goes like this, and like sings to himself, and then he goes okay, and he just like starts playing it. We're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. As soon
It
as he
was
said he was
crazy.
autistic, I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
He's got that music autism.
So he's like Bo Burnham.
yeah. He's and like
Parmo Bo Burnham.
and like we're just throwing out songs, and some songs were like kind of obscure, and he's just like he sang "Bitches Ain't Shit" by Ben Folds, and like I'm a big Ben Folds fan, and I don't even know that one that well, and he was just like, oh, I got it, and just like ripped it
Yeah.
off. Like it was awesome. And then I tried a new and then Sternick goes up, and he like created an emo song that actually was kind of awesome.
Yeah.
So it was like the theme of the show music?
No, he just plays guitar to warm everybody up.
Okay.
Like before, like when everybody's like coming in and like sitting down, and just like it's just like a fun little thing that they do. It's such a fun. You never been to the apartment show?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Well, you should check it out again. They've really got it nailed down. And
show up a little early for the music.
Yeah,
Show for the music, stay for the comedy.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Sternick, he's been doing shows all weekend, so he's like, I want to do something fun, and he does a bit where he makes up an emo song, like almost improv style from like audience suggestions, and it was
good.
Hilarious.
It was good.
It was great.
He did a tight 10 on pussy eating one night and high and dry, and then when he introduced me and I went up and I said, the hottest new pussy eater on the streets of Cleveland.
He's living a good life right now. Because I saw he's like, you're doing good, Brian. I'm happy for you.
We speak your name, Brian Sternick. I keep looking down at
I know.
Tommy's porn phone.
I'm sorry,
but we're supposed
to.
Brian, we're real proud of the work you did out there.
Look at the big
We're
camera,
looking at the real camera this time.
No, I keep doing the same thing though, but
good luck, buddy.
Never do it again.
Next time I'll just get a tripod and put it at the same height.
That works. Hell yeah.
And Whoopsie's here today, so you can hear her crying a little bit because
she's
how
good.
come no one's paying attention to me? But she always used to be in the old one, so like,
I know,
when we recorded at my house,
Bill's in a real throwback vibe.
Yeah,
Bill's throwing it back.
Yeah. Comedy awards were fantastic. And then we'll get into this in a little bit. We went and visited that Haserot Angel. But before that, I want to talk about the alpha male boot camps, which have been showing up on my feed a lot.
It's my favorite genre of comedy.
Dude, they are so insane. Like, imagine paying, like, the cheapest one's like $10,000, and like the one that keeps getting passed around is like $18,000 for 75 hours.
They're fucking cults.
They're cults, and it's just, they're like, suffering makes us brothers. And
I'm gonna quote my friend Ryan Zunkley, who said the truest shit in the world, because we were talking about that a while back, male boot camps, and he goes, listen, man, life is hard. He's like, you don't get to have it be hard the way you want it to be hard.
Right.
No, you have a mortgage. You don't get to play like the Hurt Locker out in like,
wow. That was a killer.
You don't have to apologize.
I know, but I didn't know what to do with my hands.
So, so those are so funny to me, and it's just like there's something so funny about being like, I'm going to alpha male boot camp. Like, well, isn't that kind of a contradiction? Like,
you're clearly not alpha.
If you have to learn to be an alpha male, like, I don't think you're an alpha male. Like, maybe the guys teaching the class or more, but they just seem like shysters, really.
Like, also, like,
they just get to yell at you guys.
Like, to run it back, if you're not familiar, if you don't have the cursed fucking TikTok algos that we have, so it's basically like when a dude gets cucked enough in his normal life or whatever, or gets divorced, he gets to pay to go to the middle of the desert and basically go to boot camp, where some dude who's probably also divorced and not tough just scolds you for 3 days and makes you belly crawl through dirt and do like weird Full Metal Jacket obstacles and fucking just emasculates you, and for some reason you're supposed to emerge on the other side a tougher guy.
An alpha.
And
$18,000.
I would like, maybe I'm in the wrong line of work. Maybe I should just fucking launch one of those boot camps.
Dude, we're launching right now. We're launching beta male boot camp. The thing is,
camp.
Yeah, the thing is, you're already in it because it's free and you just do like the way you've been doing it.
I need to know, like, they need to make a documentary by an outside party, of course, where it's like, what happened in your life that you took $18,000 or ran yourself $18,000 in debt to just get screamed at by some asshole? Like, who cheated on you? Like, which one of your children beat you up for money? Like what happened?
You could go to therapy for way less than that.
Yeah.
Way
We
less
know,
than
Whoopsie,
that.
we know.
And you don't even gotta pay for therapy like until like the debt collectors come after a few years later. But it's still way less. And also,
but they don't. But these are people that have the psyche that like therapy is weak,
bad,
and like so like they have this whole mindset, like it is antiquated mindset of strength is suffering.
Yeah.
So if you can
discipline is freedom.
Yeah. Yeah, like, so if you can suffer and you like if you can endure that, then it makes you a better person. And like in certain ways, like, yes, putting in hard work and like struggling does do that, but like there's got to be a reason for it besides just to get a diploma that says I'm an alpha male, which is, I don't even think they have a diploma. I think it's just a receipt.
No, man, like it's like there's no, it is like the evolution of the cult and just basically like modern Joe Rogan ism,
Right.
like culture where it's just like why, like it's just like think of all the things you could do with $18,000. You could go sign up for Brazilian jiu-jitsu and actually learn how to be tough
you can
for way less money.
Yeah. And it's spread out over a lot more.
And you're not going to be
time.
acting like one of these fucking TRT morons that are like going around
screamed at.
Yeah. No, you don't get screamed at jiu-jitsu.
Not like that.
You scream at yourself when you get choked out repeatedly by women, but that's a different story for a different day. No, I don't, like, it's my favorite, that whole corner of the internet where it's just always like dudes like around my age and where like they're sitting at tables and there's like a kind of like, you could tell there's a guy that does like 4 arm days a week and wearing like the way too tight polo. I'm one to talk, but he's just like scolding. He's like, you guys sit around all day on social media. You're weak. This is why no one respects you. And I was like, no one respects you guys because you're on the internet now getting yelled at by like a mid guy.
Right. And also like,
I would rather literally like have someone pound out my girlfriend on camera than sit in a lunchroom full of guys wearing like digital camo
pants. You don't have a girlfriend.
That's maybe I should go to this thing. I don't.
Yeah, maybe. Ooh, do an undercover.
Can we just, for the sake of conversation, pretend I have
undercover
one?
boss.
She lives in Canada.
No, I'm very like I'm just baffled by it, and like that mindset of like trying to impress other guys to be like to feel more powerful has always been strange to me. Where it's like I gotta get these guys.
Do you think it's like do you think they're trying to impress other guys, or is it like I always think it comes down to like impress a chick?
I don't know,
but chicks aren't impressed by that version of like.
I mean,
like
I know
there's a few girls that kind of like that. Oh, like so girls like a little bit of toxic masculinity. That shit though is cringy.
Yeah, that's not.
Like it's too far. It's not.
No one respects that.
like.
It's like the same reason like chicks, like you could feel free to jump in actually being a chick, but like chicks don't care about abs and masculinity and like you throwing sandbags in the middle of the desert while Godsmack's playing and stuff.
They
like,
care about money.
Am I wrong, Tommy?
No, you're not wrong. That is
Tommy who
all they
fantasizes
want is
about
your
Tim
money.
Robinson.
No, I'm kidding.
Dude,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
he's very much not an alpha male, right?
I didn't mean to out your.
It's A-okay.
Yeah, okay.
Well, and then,
We're all
and then the
I wouldn't
funniest
either.
thing about like the alpha male logic that they try to follow is it's been completely debunked as like it's based on wolf packs, and there's supposed to be like an alpha male in the wolf pack, but they're actually just family units. And the only time there becomes an alpha male is when you're in a toxic situation, like being in captivity.
It's a cult.
That's the only time there becomes a dominant male when you're in captivity. And so that's kind of, I mean, maybe that's a bit of a metaphor for our society. But also no one cares that much, and like worrying about how you're perceived by other people that much is really like. Again,
Red
just
flag.
go to therapy.
Yeah.
Like, and just you become an alpha for yourself, not for others.
Here's who those boot camps are for. They're for dudes that couldn't pass the firearms test to be a cop, dudes that couldn't get in the military for whatever reason, and dudes who forgot to get into hardcore at a younger age for free. Because all that is just some white guy scolding a group of people, yelling vague platitudes about God knows what.
Yeah.
And that was my childhood. So now I don't need to spend $18,000 to go do burpees in the middle of Death Valley or whatever.
I also just like being well rested and not stressed out. And that seems so stressful. I like to be really just like exercising's good and I do it a little bit, but I don't want to make it my whole personality.
That's a very stressful thing. That's not just exercise.
I do. I do, but I don't have to pay $18,000 or have someone yell at me.
But you don't make it your personality. You goof about it.
No, I'm not in shape enough to. That's coming. I was thinking about this on the way over. I was like, I'm going to make one last run at being like unapproachably I look like a person that like hurts to hug. Like that's what I want. I got one more in me at my age, and then just looking just like Carrot Top, like modern Carrot Top is like what I want to try. I won't get there, and I'll end up somewhere in the middle.
You're like, I'm just gonna try.
Yeah, just a little.
That's my goal.
I just feel like a little too unfuckable right now to make it about myself. Not to have.
Did you guys see Ernie Hudson? What he looks like?
Yes. Can we please talk about fucking Winston Zedmore right now?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
78-year-old. Yes, you do.
Yes.
The Black Ghostbuster.
He's the Black Ghostbuster. He's 78 years old, and that's what he looks like.
78.
He's 78. And
that motherfucker is 70.
Like that was 78, and he is on like whatever steroids he's taken is the kind.
No, I'm sorry. Look, there is no amount of steroids that can make you look like that guy is just descended from some fucking genes.
He's obviously taking care of himself, but to have that much bulk at that age, he's definitely on.
Oh no, I think like he's got to be on some supplements, but like just like looking at him like. Nah, man, that's also just like genetics plus like, because I could tell you what, you could pump me full of like whatever the rock's on at 78. I ain't looking that good. We'll post.
Yeah,
like,
but also like when you look at his face, like he's worked on. Like
it doesn't look unnatural to me. Though.
No, it looks it's good worked on, but like he looks
younger than me.
You can't be that smooth looking.
He doesn't look younger than you, but
78 is crazy for that guy.
Okay, first of all, we're talking about the Black Ghostbuster because no one knows who Ernie Hudson is. So I don't. Then when you say the Black Ghostbuster, everyone goes, "Oh, no."
The black male Ghostbuster. We're not talking about Leslie Jones, who looks worse than him. And she's like 30 years younger than him.
We gotta sing. Yeah. We being the human race, black don't crack. No. And Ernie Hudson
is the
salute, my man.
Yeah,
you are.
Yeah. You're killing it.
You either just have been drinking water every day of your life, or something. But it's I'm sure he's on something. But even on top of that, it's impressive because my buddy sent me a photo, a side by side of him in 2024 and him in 1984. It's literally you cannot tell the difference.
And
he was in the Ghostbusters 40 years ago.
And he looks, because also you look at him versus like Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray, and they look horrendous.
Bill Murray looks bad.
Well, I mean, Bill and Dan.
No,
I'll say this: Ernie Hudson was never on SNL in the '80s, so there's there's that.
The coke
did some partying,
definitely played into. Bill Murray is.
Do you think there's anybody on the 70s and 80s cast of SNL that was not partying harder than Slash and Axl Rose? Could you get by without doing that?
I would say that if there's someone that wasn't, it would be Dan Aykroyd. Like, I don't think he was a party guy because he, is definitely on the spectrum. Like, you've ever seen an interview with him when he starts talking about aliens and stuff like that? He just rattles shit off. He doesn't seem like he would be that kind of party guy.
I mean,
I've never heard
No, I mean,
he's like, I'm just here to write sketches and act in them and then go make movies and
that sounds like a guy that's trying very hard not to convince everybody he didn't do mountains of drugs in the 80s is what that sounds like to me.
I don't know, man. He just never gave me that vibe. But I could be wrong. I'm sure there's talking about it.
Again, what the fuck do I know? But in the 80s, just everybody was on. Everybody, but if you were older than 21 years old, you were doing drugs in the 80s. In any sort of creative entertainment capacity.
Right.
As best I could tell, I wasn't around. I don't know. Talking like I'm a fucking historian.
We're just little babies. We're little boys.
I was just a little 5-year-old wondering what it was like like I just would watch Lethal Weapon, and I was like, do I have to sleep naked and just like smoke cigarettes when I wake up in the morning? Like, is that what a man does? Like I was just like based my entire like idea of what a man was around fucking Martin Riggs.
So was that the first like R-rated movie you remember saying?
Yeah,
Mine was RoboCop.
Ooh, that was not far behind, and I like
RoboCop was like, I was like,
what? How old were you when you saw that for the first time?
5 or 6, like.
Dude, yeah, every kid saw RoboCop way too early in life.
Young.
Like it definitely altered.
And
me.
also, I think we had like the taped off of TV version, so it was like edited, but they still like put some really graphic violence in it.
Mm-hmm.
They just cut out swear words.
Dude, yeah, like I'll never forget where I was. Have you seen RoboCop? Obviously,
yeah.
RoboCop holds up too.
I was
RoboCop rules.
I think I was 8 years old. I was in Frank Scalish's house in South Euclid behind Heights Pet World, and he had like RoboCop on VHS, and I had never seen. Literally, I think we watched it at the part where that dude drowns in the toxic waste and is walking around like the Toxic Avenger, and I was like, I think I just like stared at it like for a long time, and I could feel just that image seared into my soul forever.
That's the main image that's seared into like when I think of RoboCop, I think of
the
that.
toxic waste.
And then I think of like how much I hated when he didn't have his mask on because he just had that smooth alopecia face.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't like
that. Is
Put
that
your
is
mask on.
that is an 11 out of 10
I don't like you to be
movie.
a human. I like you to be a RoboCop. All right.
Just yeah.
Have you ever seen the short parody film where he just keeps shooting?
Oh yeah,
off?
yes.
No, I haven't.
Oh my God, it's on Vimeo, and it's amazing. And he just keeps shooting
him in the
dick for like 8 minutes, and they're like showing the dicks getting like blown up too.
Damn,
like
that's funny.
it's really funny, but it's hard to watch.
I was like, that was like because I think I've always like fantasized about like life being different than just suburban Ohio. And so every movie I watched, I didn't understand. I kind of was like, oh, that's just what it's like being a fucking man.
Yeah.
It's like I would watch like Cobra starring Sylvester Stallone. I go, yeah, you wear your sunglasses inside and you cut pizza with scissors for no particular reason.
Have we talked about that was the movie my mom was watching when she went into labor with me?
Cobra?
Yeah, I don't know why that's like a fact.
That explains a couple things.
Like,
Explains a couple things. That's amazing.
Damn, that's funny. As you were talking about Lethal Weapon, I was thinking about Cobra.
Cobra,
Yeah.
Cobra is literally
I don't
like
think I've ever actually seen Cobra. I think
it's
I've only seen,
fucking awesome,
Yeah,
dude.
it's sick.
It is the most coke fueled. You could tell it was like every movie in the 80s was just like a bunch of writers got in a room and there was like a mountain of cocaine in the middle. Like what if we got like a cop that just wears a leather jacket the whole time and chews on a match instead of a fucking toothpick, and then he just blows everyone away. I'm talking about blows everyone away. It was like, and that's like that was like why the 80s is the greatest decade in the history of mankind.
Oh, I'm down for it.
No, you watch that.
I'm gonna watch it.
Watch it. It's awesome. It's so good.
All right, now let's move on to our Cleveland segment, the Haserot Angel.
The Tesseract.
The Tesseract
Tesseract.
Angel. Everybody, like, I told people we were going to go there today, and they're like, it's hard to find. I'm like, it
Nope,
took us
wasn't.
right to us.
Literally,
Like, yeah.
I mean, if we had more time, I was going to just park at the front and just sort of
Wander around.
Because I hadn't been there literally since I was a kid at a field trip.
Yeah, so if you don't know what the Haserot Angel is, it is a gothic-looking angel that has, like, black tears running down its face, and the Haserot family
You are definitely familiar with the image of the Haserot Angel.
is just like a rich Cleveland family that has this great monument in Lakeview Cemetery. And this is the first time I've ever been to Lakeview Cemetery.
Same.
And what a, like,
Really?
yeah, it's a magnificent place. I've never been there. Like, I always have heard about it. And we went there today, and I didn't realize how sprawling it is. Like, huge.
It's beautiful, and it's a hotbed for Pokemon Go. I'm stoked on
More
that.
importantly,
Dead people and Pokemon.
Are
Like-
Pokemon Go just ghosts that you're catching?
Honestly, not in the. That would be kind of cool.
But
if it was.
that's like that's
I
why it's
see
such a
what you're saying.
hotbed.
Oh,
Is the
maybe.
Pokemon Go manifest because there's so many ghosts in the cemetery?
Tommy just figured out how she wants to be buried. Be made into a Pokemon ghost.
Please. Oh my gosh, yes.
But now I want to set aside, like, so I have good, what do they call it? Like life insurance policy that pays out a lot, and it's going to go to my kids. But I think I want to up it and get like $1 million set aside just so they can build me a mausoleum, because that's with like, I want, the angel's taken, but I want like a gargoyle or something.
Oh, that'd be sick.
That'd be real sick. And like have Whoopsie in the cemetery with me. Like,
Are you good? Oh, okay.
Whoopsie will be like, but
Should
I'm
be the
not
first
dead yet.
when Whoopsie, yeah,
Hopefully.
she'll
I mean, not hopefully, but
Yeah,
I don't want you to die.
Yeah, right. Well, I feel like we're just gonna go at the same time.
The exact
when
same time.
she's old, I'm gonna be like, I can't do another dog. It's too sad. And just we'll check out together.
Okay.
No, I know.
Join a cult together.
Yeah.
Drink the Kool-Aid together.
I love the idea of having something like that. Just where big titty goth girls gather to take pictures and be all
Hot.
and creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I want my death to mean something to the hot, creepy goth girls.
That's all that matters, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you live on. That's called having a legacy.
You want your
Do you think
grave to be on Instagram.
Yeah. Do you think that's like what the patriarch of the Haserot family was? They're he's like, oh, this is he's like saying it's like religious implications, but he really just had like a big titty goth girl fetish from like the 1800s.
He's like wearing like a powdered wig, and he goes, I would love to have the ladies that are fans of Orgy and Marilyn Manson finger themselves. I don't even know what accent Dennis Haserot had, or whatever his fucking name is.
I don't even know. What is that?
I just showed up and I just sat down on the monument and I go, is this okay? I don't think this feels like this is okay, but I don't know. They're dead.
There was a rolled cigarette there. I think it was okay.
I mean, I
that you
didn't
sat.
spit on it or anything, but I kind of felt like, I don't know.
Oh, and you left them. You left the.
Yeah, I left a little old 86 drinking coin there.
That's awesome.
My idea, guys.
Yeah.
That was Tommy's idea.
Tommy's idea. Great.
The smart
great
one.
idea.
I have nothing.
Here.
Cleveland has like a lot of cemeteries though. I was like driving around the other day and I was like, man, a lot of dead motherfuckers in this town.
Yeah.
It's kind of sick.
It is cool.
Let me know. I want to see if there's more Pokemon.
Let's go. Well, there's the one that's right across from the baseball stadium that I've never really walked. Like I walked past it, I've never walked through it.
Oh, really?
Walked through that.
I mean, the ones I was driving by, I don't know if you want to go alone to Pokemon hunt in, but yeah, they're out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a lot of dead people all the time.
A lot of dead people.
But that's Cleveland. Cleveland, a lot of taste of meats and a lot of dead motherfuckers.
All right, Whoopsie's being a good guard dog.
I know.
Please tell me someone is not coming into my bar right now.
Is it locked?
Yeah, it's locked, but it's like
No, I know.
It needs to. Okay, baby. Okay.
Calm down.
What's he doing? What even else is over here?
It's okay.
That's weird.
Huh. Sorry, guys. Distracted.
I think he got out, threw something away. That was definitely somebody thrown. Oh, now he pulled up onto the curb.
Oh, is it drugs?
Whoopsie scared someone
We
away.
should see what he threw away.
It's okay, baby.
But then he pulled onto the curb. That was a weird move.
He might be next door's. He might have the warehouse next door.
That makes sense.
Well,
I don't know. At any rate, I don't think anyone Yeah, Lakeview Cemetery. I went there on a field trip. I think in 7th grade, and a bird shit on my hat.
It's good luck.
what hat was it?
I want to say it was like a weird. It was a fucking cool hat. I remember it was like a weird minor league team, like a Sharks themed team.
Oh, that's
and it was
cool.
like since I think it was the 90s. It was like purple and teal and shit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Those are the best colors.
But I felt
In
it
the
hit the
90s.
bill of my hat, and then of course like I wasn't like a popular kid, and everyone turned around. For some reason, I just feel like the way I remember is everyone in my class turned around and they're like, "Ew, a bird shit on Seacrest's hat," and they all laughed hysterically. And then I went home and
They
cut
were right to
myself.
laugh. That's hilarious. That's very.
It is hilarious, but I was
But you were
a
like,
vastly different kid than I am now. Yeah. Looking back, I go, maybe that's like, it's like the most dumb version of the movie The Crow, where instead of like I got murdered and came back to avenge my lover's death, it's like, no, the bird shit in this guy's hat, and then he just lived the rest of his life.
Well, then do you become like a crow that shits on people that laughed at you?
Maybe I
That's
just
how
become
you
like a
become the
scat
chosen
guy.
one?
Yeah, I shit on
No,
people.
it happened in the cemetery, and that's why you're into hot goth bitches, you know? That's
But
why.
are they
that's
into
your origin
me?
story?
Huh?
That's his origin story.
Origin story.
And then my Tales of Vengeance,
shit.
I was like, but they're not into me, and that's why he enrolled in Alpha Male Boot Camp.
Please don't. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I smell new movie script. Man signs up.
Speaking of movie script, let me run mine by you. So they're doing a sequel to Happy Gilmore, apparently, or like that's in development. And I don't want a Happy Gilmore sequel. I want a Billy Madison sequel. And let me pitch you my Billy Madison sequel. Tommy's a little aware of this, but so here's what I think. I think the Billy Madison sequel should be Billy Madison when he finishes that movie, he becomes a teacher, right? That's his plan. So I think he becomes a teacher, and he does that for like 15 years, and then around the 2010, he's in a school shooting, and he doesn't die, but a bunch of his young students do, and it just destroys him. So he goes into hiding and just like becomes a recluse. And while all that's happening, Eric, who's the bad guy in the first movie,
who was pregnant,
who got shot. Oh, he's going to
be a soccer player.
He like becomes like this disgruntled guy, and he starts railing against the 1% because he hates the Madison family so much and they're so rich, and he starts an online radio show that becomes a very popular podcast. And so when the Billy Madison school shooting happens, he says it's all a hoax perpetrated by the 1%.
So he becomes like an Alex Jones.
Yes, he becomes like an Alex Jones guy, and it like he builds this massive following, and all these people are like buying into this hoax. And then he gets sued by all the families, but they need Billy Madison to come to the trial and testify against him. So he shows up, he gets sober and he gets himself together so he can go and stop Eric one last time and testify against him, so that he has to pay all these families out these billions of dollars and everybody's going to be watching this movie the whole time. They're like, this isn't funny. There's no jokes. He doesn't go hoo one time. Like it's like an incredibly serious movie, but you're locked in, and then
this procedural legal drama.
Yeah, and then like that's what Adam Sandler ends up winning an Academy Award for. He wins an Oscar for Billy Madison too.
I love the turn. I like.
Thanks, guys. Sorry.
Very nice.
Yeah.
We take my sorry back. Go.
Because Billy Madison, the first Billy Madison is honestly like maybe my favorite comedy of all time.
Yeah.
And it's honestly so funny. I think I place it in my top 10 all-time movies, period.
That's awesome. Yeah,
But it's like to think that they could make a funnier sequel to that movie seems impossible, even as much as I like Sandler. And also Sandler is like
here's what they should do too, is like shoot like a fake trailer. So like people think it's gonna be the movie, and then when it shows up on Netflix, everybody watches it and they're like ensconced in this like crazy legal drama that is just so dark and depressing, but also like well acted and well written.
Could the school shooter
like secretly have like David Fincher be the director? Like, don't let anybody know.
Just really dark. Could you have the school shooter be like Steve Buscemi's character's son? Yeah, because it's not a daughter. It's obviously going to be a dude.
Yeah, it's going to be it.
Because Buscemi, honestly, was like the first ever school shooter, technically. Because remember the end of Billy Madison?
Yeah.
And he goes, boy, am I glad I called that guy. Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that makes it too many callbacks, if anything.
All right.
If anything, I would say
this is your script, not mine.
Yeah, Buscemi would be like involved some way, but I don't know if like him even like his character wouldn't even have a son.
Here's why you can't. This is the truly impossible feat about this movie that you haven't considered yet. How do you fit Rob Schneider into this movie, and how do you make him serious?
Oh, that would be, dude, to get Adam Sandler nominated for Best Actor and Rob Schneider nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
Reinvent himself as a dramatic thespian.
That would be incredible.
You got to do this.
Yeah.
Email Adam's people. You're a comedian. You know those guys.
So if Rob Schneider would be the judge.
I was gonna.
Yeah, he could be the judge. That's like
I can't see
he's
him.
like
It's
really,
way too funny of a character though for him to play, because he would be like, he would say, "I'll have order," but he'll like say it in like some stupid way, and it'll become his go-to. It'll keep yeah. He'd be like, he's like, "Order for everyone now," and he's just like, that sounds way too Asian.
Yeah.
That sounds awful.
But I think make him a very serious judge. Like give him a different look than he's ever had. Like real not having like the Rob Schneider pompadour or anything like that. Just like a really
like a Dr. Phil haircut.
Yeah. Like
it's too funny. It's already like, I would be fucking crying laughing at that.
But then like as you're like, okay, this is crazy. But then like if he's playing it real serious, you're like, okay, all right, I'm on this ride.
Has he ever played a serious role?
I don't think so.
I can't imagine.
Schneider?
That's what I'm saying.
No.
I can't imagine that.
No,
that's hard to even.
But like have all those guys that are like in all his movies just like show up and just be like Nick Swardson just be like the bailiff.
And you would have to have all the people or all the main players from the original show up. Like Miss Lippy would have to do like a cameo.
Yeah.
Miss Vaughn would have to
Could they
have
be in
a
the
part.
jury?
I think they would just be
Peers?
like peers or like something like, or like, Veronica Vaughn could be the one that goes and finds him and pulls him out of like his depression and out of his funk and pulls him out of solitude.
You have to have the penguin involved. You'd have to have the callback to the penguin in some very graphic and very subtle way.
Yeah.
There's that penguin again. Oh, I see what's happening here. Proceed. It's the greatest movie ever made.
Yeah, dude.
It's the greatest movie ever made. I don't care how much of a bro I am because of that movie, because it was well worth it.
Like when he witnesses the school shooting, he is so scared that he pisses his pants. But everybody's like, that's actually pretty cool. Pissing your pants is cool. That permeated the culture.
Peeing your pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis.
Yeah.
If that movie came out in 2024, the amount of merch that would be printed with just that line on it. God, I could talk about that movie. I have talked about that movie for literally 30 years.
It's my favorite.
I think we're coming up on the 30th anniversary of that movie
I think it
coming
came out
out.
in 95, I think.
Something like that.
think
Mid 90s.
It was like,
yeah.
It might be this summer, honestly, because
I gotta watch it again. As if I didn't watch it like a month ago.
30 years.
Yeah, it'll be 30.
Yeah, I think it'll be 30 because I think it came out like 94, 95. Let me see.
If it was 94, 95, it has to be 30.
The only
33.
elevated cultural discourse I ever care to get like passionately argue about is why Billy Madison's funnier than Happy Gilmore. I've gotten in knife fights over it.
1995, so next year will be 30 years.
I really haven't gotten in knife fights.
But Billy Madison is funnier because Billy Madison stays funny all the way to the end. Happy Gilmore drops off when they start going back and forth in the final. There's a few laughs, but Billy Madison, that whole scene of them trying to outsmart each other in the academic decathlon is funny all the way through. It's a fucking ridiculous premise, and it's funny. So
that movie's in the spirit.
Puppy who lost his way. God,
no, they set out. That movie's a lot like Freddy Got Fingered or Pee-wee's Big Adventure, where you could tell the only goal for that movie was to have every scene either be batshit nuts or batshit hilarious.
Yeah.
And that was because you're right. There's no scene where you go, who the fuck greenlit this? Who let this become a movie?
And as he he at the end of Billy Madison 2, he gives his speech. They rule in favor that Eric has to pay all the families all this money, and then he's like, you know what? It's time. I'm gonna be a teacher again. And then there's an orchestral version of Yes, I Will Go Back to School. Without lyrics, but it's just that theme.
Yes, thank you, Veronica, for beating the shit out of me.
I see things so clearly now.
I see my destiny. I don't remember it. That's whatever. Fucking the
We're
best.
here to help you, Billy. Get back.
I can't wait to go to high school, Billy.
Also, they got to do a nice tribute to and then it fades to black, And then in loving memory of Norm Macdonald.
Oh.
Yeah. He was one of the two drunk friends.
Yeah. No, I stole this shirt from Frank.
What a dumb movie.
It's such a great movie. I'm going to watch that this week.
Yes, I am too. I am too.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming to Cleveland, America.
It's not a serious place.
It's not a serious place.
That is all.